Nice Micro Monday. Did the development in consumer products slow down? So recently, due to the development in machine learning fields, which people just call AI nowadays, there is a renewed discussion around something called the technological singularity. And technological singularity basically means that things are getting developed faster and faster, and not even just an exponential curve, but even faster than exponential, and actually it will hit like infinite slope, and the technological development measured by I don't know what will just go up to infinity at some point, maybe in 2060 or something. I don't remember exactly what the prediction was, but of course singularity is a mathematical concept when a function goes to infinity or just breaks down, like like how 1 over x breaks down at 0, for example. That's a singularity. So we probably won't hit an infinitely speeding up technological wall in the future where, I don't know, does time just stop or something? Because I generally think that we already kind of hit some kind of a wall. So I'm not saying that in terms of like computing power or getting computing even just cheaper is not something that is happening. It's definitely algorithms are getting better, and machine learning, like recent release of generative AI that generates quite good looking videos from OpenAI, these are definitely happening. My concern is about like actually useful things for people, like just regular people, for the consumer. So if I think back about my childhood, which in the year 2000, when I guess I would be considered middle school age, that what happened between that time and 2010, the difference is just huge. So in 2000, for example, when we went on a field trip in school, if I wanted to take pictures, I would have to borrow the camera from my father, and we had this film camera. So my father would put in the film into the camera, and every time you take a picture, you have to like manually wind the film forward, and when you are finished, you had to like wind it up so all the film gets and ends up back in the tube. So when you open the camera, the film is not ruined by the light. And then you had to take this film to the Photoshop, where some person would take your film, go back and develop it and make your pictures. I don't know, 3-4 days later you could pick it up, and that guy would like see all the things, all the pictures you've taken. So in my country, in Hungary, Polaroid cameras never really picked up, and we transitioned from that to digital cameras. So in the 2000s, so in the noughties, as some people say it, we already started having digital cameras. So I had roommates during my high school years who would be from a little more wealthy families than me, who would have digital cameras. But those pictures were like still, I don't know, like 1000 by 700 pixels, and one picture would be like 1.5 megabytes, I would say, and the memory card would be like 32 megabyte or 64 megabyte. And by the end of the decade, like 2010, when I was in university, we already had people who had camera phones. So I had my first camera phone in 2004, I guess. So those things existed way before 2010 or 2010, but the image quality of these were quite bad. But by 2010, you could actually have a phone that would take decent pictures and would be like advertised as a phone that takes nice pictures. So how people were relating to taking pictures in these 10 years, that changed a lot, and that was not the only thing, of course. In 2000, if you wanted to listen to music on the move, you would have like a portable cassette player, or maybe, a few years later, if you were a little wealthier, you could have like a portable CD player. And if you are even more wealthy, then you might have a CD player that could play MP3s, not just audio CDs. So you could have, if you had like a CD player that played MP3s, you could have, I don't know, like 700 megabytes is maybe like 600 hours of music, or 600 minutes rather of music, I'm not sure. But anyways, and then we went to like iPods and just listening to music from your phone basically. And these things changed consumer life quite well, quite a lot, quite high. It was a quite big change. But if we think about what is the difference between 2010 and 2020, I mean, maybe I just got older and I got less excited about new stuff, but if I just think about myself, what is the difference? I have a better phone in 2020 than I had in 2010, that's for sure. So I guess the big thing that changed is that like accessing the internet through like a mobile phone became much more ubiquitous. So in 2010, mostly you wanted to write an email, you wanted to chat with someone, you had to sit down in front of a computer. Now in 2010 or 2020, rather, you could just have everything on your mobile phone. So I guess that was the big change in consumer land, that you could basically reuse the number of devices that you've been carrying with you to just one. You didn't have to have a camera, a phone, and like a, I don't know, Walkman. This became all one device. But those devices already existed in the beginning of the decade of the 2010s. They just became more affordable, better quality, I guess, and more ubiquitous. And I think the biggest change during those 10 years did not happen in like consumer technology. It mostly was software. So, for example, we went from internet forums and MSN Instant Messenger to Facebook and other social media platforms. YouTube got really big, I guess. YouTube already existed in 2010. And now, it seems to me that the big difference is still going to be software, but it is on a different front. So now it's the AI revolution is bringing in some new things, like image generation is quite crazy. So like even like what you can do on your own computer using Stable Diffusion is just amazing. But how well is this changing the consumer economy? I mean, if I think about like the fridge, the washing machine we have, how did it get better? I guess they consume less energy and you can connect to the internet with them for some reason. Like we connected the washing machine to the internet because there was some problem with it. If you connect with the application, it said there is no problem with it. So very useful technological advancement in consumers' point of view. So I kind of feel like that in the recent decades, this the kind of improvements that consumers had in the notice, those are not really happening that much anymore. Like all these different all the advancements are happening somehow behind the scenes, and well, I guess consumers can get better things, but not like quantitatively better, like faster computers, smaller phones, better image quality on your cameras, but it's not like some new quality that is brought to the consumer. That's only brought to you by software like social media. And I think this is probably one of the reasons why many people who are excited about technology started really overhyping like blockchain technology a few years ago, and now many people are really overhyping AI and coming up with some insane predictions. It's just basically we ran out of actual tangible things that are coming into our lives and making our lives different, or rather making our lives better. So we just like, I don't know, all these new things that are coming out, they must be good for something. This is kind of the implication. This is kind of what I get. If you think I am right, give me a like. If you think I am wrong, then start a flame war. Do they still call it a flame war? In the comment section down below. And hope to see you next time. Bye bye.